Hello mate, what's going on? Welcome on back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, which is of course your daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea. In today's video, we get a huge UCL boost with top 5 being confirmed for a UCL qualification spot. Garnacho, could he be going to River Plate? Would we be sad? Of course, Marco Senesi, a player that I'd like Chelsea to sign, being linked to us again. Of course, it'd be a free transfer. Very interesting transfer logic score on football transfers. A bit of Colwell looking to extend his contract, which is some really positive news. Some sensational talk about Xabi Alonso, world-class Xabi Alonso manager. Apparently Chelsea are interested. Pinch or perhaps a shovel full of salt. And if we have time, we'll go through the Athletics article on who should be the captain for the rest of the season. But take a second, get comfortable, and listen to this. A big thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. That's right, my partner Surfshark is the best virtual private network provider around. A VPN is important, gang, and Surfshark's super easy to use. It works by moving your internet's location elsewhere, and Surfshark has so many different servers in so many different countries. But why is this important? It's important because using a VPN and moving your internet soul somewhere else gives you extra additional security. All your personal details are more protected by the internet baddies out there trying to get you, mate. Not only that, you can finally browse in total privacy, and in 2026 no one really has privacy anymore, so thank you for that, Surfshark. So now you're feeling safe and protected from the bad guys, and you know, checking out the internet in private, you can move on to more entertainment. That's right, utilize a VPN to open up entire different media libraries. When you utilize Surfshark on different streaming websites and platforms and go to different countries, suddenly the country that you've chosen, that's the media library that will be available to you. You can unlock different TV shows, films, and indeed live streaming events when utilizing Surfshark, the best VPN. But the best thing about this, guys, is not that it's a really useful, easy to use, and great tool, is the fact how, because you watch my channel, you can get 4 months extra. That's right, gang, when you use my code FOOTBALL, you can get an entire 4 months extra. Simply go to surfshark.com/football or use my code FOOTBALL for those 4 additional months. You can also click the link in the top of the description. Go utilize this excellent deal now, guys. It really is time. Alright, peace. Do go check out Surfshark, they're ruddy wicked. Thank you, guys. Right, so lots of Chelsea stuff to enjoy before we go through the pain of actually having to watch us play football again, but I'm hopeful we can maybe reach our targets. Maybe reach our targets this season. Anyway, there's a bunch of stuff I want to get into with you guys today, so let's have a look first. This is on Chelsea.news, Cy Phillips' website. Chelsea given huge boost in race for Champions League after official confirmation. Chelsea have been given a huge boost in their attempts to get Champions League football again next season. Of course, it's still very much in their own hands as well, as they were hoping to let others above us slip up. We're currently in 6th, a point off 5th. We have a much better goal difference than I think most of us above us. I think it's everyone but the top 2 in Arsenal and Man City. We've got the best goal difference. We're just a point behind. And of course, we play Man City, although, you know, if there's a world where I could decide what happens, we'd give Man City the 3 points and beat everyone else just so Arsenal maybe don't win the league. But I think we just got to consider ourselves and win every game we can. Yeah, and of course, we've played the likes of Liverpool and Man United as well. United do seem capable of competence, which is rather sad, but Liverpool seem all over the gaff, mate, and they might be, you know, they're getting slapped up possibly tonight at time of recording, Wednesday the 8th of April, so, you know, there's a very good chance that Liverpool will literally just fall out of the top 5, and it'll be up to Chelsea just to maybe fall in. Like, because it will feel like falling in unless, of course, we find a bit of form. There's so much it's so up in the air, man. The Port Vale game was like a nice vibes moment for those who went to Stamford Bridge, and indeed the players. Beating any team in a competitive game 7-0, especially if it's in a quarter-final of the FA Cup, which is a great competition, it can only feel good, but we've learnt nothing about the truth of what's going on, or how good we are, or if we're capable of qualifying for the Champions League, or if we deserve playing in it. All right, hopping over to Sport Witness now. Alejandro Garnacho, the divides opinion, an oddly hated character, I'd say, Garnacho, because he gets booed everywhere he goes. And I'm not sure why. I mean, yeah, I guess he could grind the gears of the opposition. He's not an S-houser so much. Maybe a little bit. Sort of like bit of diving, classic South American thing. But, you sort of Cucurella plays the villain, but for some reason he gets booed everywhere he goes. Anyway, he's being linked to a transfer, but a loan transfer, which would be weird to River Plate, because as a guy with so much Premier League experience, what at 21 you want a developmental, probably Champions League opportunity. But yeah, Argentina sports journalist Gonzalo Carol, speaking on live TV, he said that River Plate manager Eduardo Coudet has made contact with Alejandro Garnacho. He has also claimed Chelsea would look favourably on a 1-year loan to Argentina. Now, I know, Enzo Fernandez wants to go back there one day, and and maybe it would be like a nice for him to go to Argentina. Obviously, Garnacho, I'm talking about being an Argentina international. But how does this serve him professionally in his career, at all? I'll tell you, it doesn't. Yeah, Chelsea got him for a good price, considering his Premier League experience. Like, Man United wanted to sell him for 70 million. We bought him for 40 million. Market opportunity, I know it's an unsexy term and it's not what we need right now. We need appropriate players, and we'll be moving over to that in the next story, so keep it locked. But yeah, you gain absolutely nothing from Garnacho going on loan to River Plate for one season. If anything, you just devalue him, out of sight, out of mind, out of Europe, the best continent for high-level competition. But despite that, some Chelsea fans might be saying, yeah, I've had Garnacho's not for me. If we can free up the spot and free up the wages, then yes. I'm speaking purely from a business perspective and from a developmental perspective as a player. But as a fan, loads of Chelsea fans might be like, well, screw, yeah, off he goes. Off he goes, let's get a space free, let's put someone else in, let's get a better eye on Gittins, let's buy a new left winger, I'd say, personally. That's what I'd like. And Garnacho go and have some fun in South America. Makes no sense, but football rarely does. Especially at Chelsea. Now, many of you would have seen around the papers, the headlines, that Marcus Senesi has been linked with Chelsea. Now, this is footballtransfers.com. Transfer logic score. I thought this was quite funny, worth a look at. Pros, comparable age to previously attracted players. What does that even mean? He's an adult, and we only sign children. Potential previously attracted players, comparable value, previously attracted players. It's basically analysing Tosin out of Robinho and being like, senior player in the Premier League on a free transfer. Comparable quality to players. Like a 71% logic score. What the heck does that mean? Well, it means it kind of makes sense. I would sign Marcus Senesi, yeah. Because we did comparisons on his statistics. I mean, when FB Ref was still alive and we were still all allowed to use it, and I used it on this channel a lot, he blew opposition out of the water in terms of Premier League stats and metrics. He is a really, really good Premier League proven player. He's a senior player. He's Argentina, so we got 1,000 of them, you know. His contract runs out in 2026, so he'll be a free transfer at 28 years old. I know for a lot of people this is giving Tosin, you know, mid-late 20s for free from a mid-table team. It's the same. Also, although it's not, I do think Senesi is a really, really good opportunity to just get in with no transfer fee, and he will come to Chelsea. Apparently, loads of people are fighting to sign him because it's not as much as Tosin was like wanted to stay in London, saw Chelsea, but apparently Liverpool and Spurs and Chelsea are all in talks to sign Marcus Senesi. Look, if you look at this here, this is on Court Offside. Mark Bruss or Brew. I never know if it's Brew or Bruss. Chelsea's, I mean, understandably, Spurs, probably because Romero and Van de Ven might leave, even if they stay up. I don't know, maybe De Zerbi convinces them to stay. Liverpool, Van Dijk is completely washed, and Konate might be going to Real Madrid. So, yeah, I get that, basically. I genuinely would do this. I'm a little bit burned with Tosin because a lot of teams wanted us to sign Tosin as well, but I've looked at the stats of Marcus Senesi. We've got loads of young good centre-backs. Levi Colwell's returning from injury. You know, Mamadou Sarr's young. Joshua Chiampong is young. He's a huge talking point at the moment, Joshua Chiampong, because if he's not getting starts against Port Vale, then, you know, what the hell is going on here? And, you know, Chelsea speak to the likes of Telegraph and The Athletic, all their briefy boys where they send out their briefs to. They're all saying, oh, Joshua Champong's world class. You know, we love Josh. We know what we've got with Josh. He's a superstar. Well, how about you let him play some football then, you knobbers? Especially, look, Rosinia was on the ropes against Port Vale. He just needed a win no matter what. And he was like, Tosin, you're a grown-up. Even though, like, maybe you're not naturally as a gifted footballer as, for example, say, Joshua Champong. Do you know what I mean? Just come into the starting lineup and just be a grown-up. But that's why I'd take Marcus Senesi. I think he's a really, really good footballing centre-back. Chelsea fans, understandably, losing faith, potentially lost faith in Wesley Fofana. I mean, again, huge fan of what he could have been, what maybe he could still be, but I am sort of slowly, you know, those straws are not being as grasped as firmly as they used to be. But, you know, what have we got? We got Disasi will go, and he's doing himself great service at West Ham. They love him over there. He's scoring, like, you know, I know they didn't get through in the end in the FA Cup, but he scored, like, that stoppage time equaliser for West Ham. He's been a really good defender. He'll get a move. I think Badiashile will go. I think Tosin might go, genuinely. So that's multiple centre-backs gone. And yeah, obviously, Carwell comes back. Mamadou Sarr's there. Chelsea will really have to start, you know, putting their money where their mouth is with Joshua Champong. Trevoh Chalobah, of course, how could I forget him? Be very interested to see what happens with him. Of course, Rosinia does actually really like Trev. And, you know, you got Thomas Tuchel, the England manager, saying he's ahead of Harry Maguire. Trevoh Chalobah. Harry Maguire's just extended his contract with Manchester United because he's a key player in a team that will probably finish third in the Premier League. So, yeah, Marcus Senesi, I would genuinely snap that up. And also, it's also worth mentioning Murillo, of course, of Nottingham Forest. Like, I think we're still, like, I put in my thumbnail yesterday, I got confused because I thought I was going to talk about it today. But he is a player that we are, like, eminently, like, no, sort of, like, always linked with. Murillo. Yeah, I mean, look, if for some reason we sign 2 centre-backs in the summer and we want Premier League experience and you sign Marcus Senesi and Murillo and you get rid of all the ones you don't want, the game is sewn up. And obviously Levi returning. And we'll talk about him next. Right, so this is on Tribuna.com. Chelsea begin contract talks with Colwell, after the Reece James extension. So, Chelsea have started initial discussions with Levi Colwell. Of course, we did. He is contracted for a little while because his deal runs till 2029. I wonder if there's an option, but of course, I think they're waiting to see how he looks after his ACL. I mean, you don't really give like a new 7-year contract, knowing them guys, to a guy who might not be the same player after an ACL injury. But we all know we've massively missed him, to the point where as soon as he done his ACL, Maresca was like, get me another centre back. We can't deal without this guy for a season and try and compete. He knew, and that was one of his big gripes with the hierarchy before it all fell apart down the road. But that was the beginning of the end, really, between Enzo Maresca and the sporting director's relationship. But he has been a huge miss. He's probably our best centre back. Huge pressure on him to return and be like really good. So it's good news ultimately that he's been given a new contract. Ben Jacobs, of course, journalist, also confirmed recently, I think today, the 8th of April, that Chelsea are looking to extend Levi Colwill's contract. And of course, this is probably coming with the stories of Enzo Fernandez, with the negotiations with Javier Pastore, his agent, which still blows my mind that Pastore is his agent. Their priority is to stay at Chelsea but get better terms. Chelsea are at the table with Enzo, and they are at the table with Levi Colwill, and I think they're going to do that all in the summer. Right, so I'm not going to screen share this, but I'll reference where it's coming from. Team Talk, which is a football news website, and they're speaking about Xabi Alonso. Now, of course, the big story with him is that Arne Slot looked like his first season, it was a complete fluke winning the Premier League. But it does feel like it's all falling apart for Liverpool. And of course, Xabi Alonso played for three big clubs in his career. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Liverpool. He's already managed Real Madrid, and he got sacked. So and he's not going to Bayern anytime soon, because Vincent Kompany is killing it. He's fair play to it, mate, because he got Burnley relegated and he's turned Bayern into a super machine again. It's like Hansi Flick's Bayern. So that leaves Liverpool for Xabi Alonso without a job. And Liverpool look like they should sack Arne Slot and bring in Xabi Alonso. But this is saying Team Talk that Chelsea are also keen on bringing him in, and he's also being targeted by Man City as a replacement for Guardiola. Which, by the way, I get it. And Maresca's obviously being linked heavily to Man City. But Xabi Alonso is a sick manager. He nearly completed the invincible treble. He got to the final of the Europa League against Atalanta, and of course, Nigerian player? What's the kid's name? Oh my god, that's gonna kill me. Lookman scored a hat trick in the final, and they lost 3-0. But which is a real weird looking glass moment, because they were gonna have an invincible treble. Granted, not Champions League, but they won the invincible double domestically, and then obviously they had that all the way to the final as well without losing, and then they got battered in the final by Lookman, which was an amazing moment for him. But it's testament to how amazing a manager Xabi Alonso really is, gang. He really is amazing. It's just Real Madrid are an absolute circus in terms of ego. Now, Chelsea are a circus, but for different reasons. Chelsea, he'll be able to manage more like he did at Bayer Leverkusen at Chelsea, I think, in terms of the players listening to him, allowing to be a systems manager. I think because he went to Real Madrid after Ancelotti, which was like vibes and samba dancing and do what you want, boy, and Nonna's Italian spaghetti recipe, and just we Chelsea fans know Carlo's a proper, he's a Galactico whisperer. Xabi Alonso's not a Galactico whisperer. He's a proper modern football coach with great ideas and was incredible for Leverkusen. So to go from Ancelotti to Alonso just didn't work, and Vinny's ego got in the way and stuff. I think none of that will matter. This Chelsea young team, for all this chatting from Enzo Fernandez and these men lately, they all work hard. They've all been working in a system under Maresca and Rosinia. And to be honest, not only would they continue to be happy to work in a system, hearing instructions from Xabi Alonso, would be... It's like you would say when listening when Zidane managed Real Madrid. He what was it? Oh, my brain today is absolutely failing me. Well, one sec. Literally remembered it as I pressed the pause button. Rafa Benitez, when he managed Real Madrid, he couldn't tell Cristiano Ronaldo how to take free kicks and coach him. Zidane comes in, Ronaldo's like, well, I'm going to listen to him because this is Zidane. Do you know what I mean? Similarly, Xabi Alonso is an amazing footballer. So decorated, played for all these big clubs. Enzo Fernandez, with the greatest of respect to Rosinia, who I still hope succeeds, but I have great concerns for him. He didn't have like a decorated massive career, but Xabi Alonso comes in. Suddenly Enzo Fernandez sort of starts listening like, all right, what do you want me to do? Okay, yeah. Not that they're not listening to other managers, but do you know what I mean? It's like you can kind of understand. There's still something to a big name coming in that commands respect from the young players that they know who he is, that they've seen him play football. Like, obviously, Guardiola is a big one, even though he's a bit of an older generation now. But there's plenty of examples. Even like to a sort of different degree, Frank Lampard. Do you know what I mean? Who was always loved, even if people critique his level of achievement at certain jobs, he was always loved by the fans and often players as well. So, interesting. I think probably is nonsense. I do think Chelsea are probably interested in him. But, can they get him? Probably not. Because he'll probably just go to Liverpool and be like, give me Florian Wirtz, his ex-player, by Leverkusen. Frimpong from Leverkusen. Oh yeah, have Isaac, Ekatike, Salah's gone, don't worry about him. We'll get rid of Van Dijk. We'll try and get rid of Van Dijk as well. I think it's just too good to turn down for him. But who knows? It feels very unlikely, but just because Rosinia's captain Bluco, isn't he? So... Right then, so should Enzo Fernandez be stripped of the captaincy? This was spoken about on The Athletic by Liam Twomey on the Straight Out of Cobham podcast. He's actually done an article on it. Yeah. Who should captain Chelsea for the rest of the season? Because, of course, we saw Cole Palmer wearing the armband. And interestingly, Cole Palmer said, it's been a long time coming. So what, have you wanted to wear the captain's armband for a long time, Cole? I don't hate it. I think it's interesting. In fact, I actually find it quite compelling if he has wanted to wear it for a long time. I'm like, yeah, all right, go on, lad. If it's going to make you find your form again, then I'm all for it, he's not going on live streams talking about how he loves the city of Manchester and wants to go back there. So, there's obviously, Reece James is Chelsea's captain. I think Levi Colwill will be the perfect vice-captain. But in terms of if Enzo Fernandez does get stripped of the captaincy, which isn't out of the question, by the way. Like, when he returns to the team for Man United, and if he doesn't get the ban lifted for City, is he going to be wearing the armband? Because if Chelsea say you can't treat us like that, you're suspended. But then, here you go, here's your captain's armband back. It might look weak. So and obviously lots of Chelsea fans are still upset with his behaviour. So there's other contenders. Toomey writes Caicedo. I get it. The captain, Cobham, he's given the titles here. Chalobah, Levi Colwill. I'd be happy with either of those, of course. Captain Talisman, Cole Palmer, keeping the armband. Captain Cult Hero, Mark Cucurella. Of course, he also sort of criticised the hierarchy, but it came from more of a, I want Chelsea to do well rather than I want more money / go to Real Madrid. So Chelsea fans he is a cult hero, Mark Cucurella. I don't think actually any Chelsea fans would be upset if you wore the armband. Captain Uncle, Tosin Adarabioyo. Now, I don't think it's anything to do with his character. I think Chelsea fans understand he's a bit of a leader on the pitch. But ultimately, if he's on the pitch, that's a problem. So I'd say no. Captain Cool Hands, Robert Sanchez. I am not going to... The last two are silly. He's gone Captain Cool Hands, Sanchez less than 2 months and younger than Tosin, so he's an older player. Maybe if you put the captain's armband around Rob Sanchez's arm, maybe he'll be a bit more cool hands. Interestingly, Captain Bluco, which would be a real left field shout, but of course he was captain of Strasbourg for Liam Rosenia. I don't know. I give it to a Cobham boy. But I don't know. I wouldn't. If Enzo Fernandez comes out with the armband on, when he returns. I won't care. I won't be like, disgrace. I'll be like, oh, good. They've obviously sorted it out. Do you know what I mean? But if he doesn't, I'll be like, fair enough. They've held firm with their position, and they're not just going to give it back and let him, show there's no repercussions for chatting S-word. Let me know what you think, though. Please do leave your comments down in the comment section. I'll thank you, as always, for liking and subscribing on YouTube, for following and 5-starring on your podcast app, simply by searching Football Therapy Podcast. And if you got to the end of the video, do check out Surfshark, man. Click the link in the top of the description, or use my code FOOTBALL, because VPNs are important in the modern age, and you can have a great one with a great deal. All right, mate. Take care of yourselves. Peace.